My name is Vicki Burleigh, and I'm the afternoon shift manager for Tasau, and I'm from Hobart. And this is my story. I'm the youngest of three sisters. I was born and raised in a local housing commission suburb called Bridgewater. In the past, Bridgewater has been identified as one of the lowest socio-economical areas in Hobart, mainly due to its low average household age and its above average levels of unemployment and crime. Like most others growing up at that time, it was pretty tough. My family were far from financially secure. In actual fact, I'd go as far as saying that they were pretty poor. Out of three daughters, I was the only child to finish year 10, but I must admit that I was never one to excel at school, and my grades will testify to that. Unfortunately, I spent many years in and out of hospital, battling an illness that really put me well behind in my grades. I tried year 11, but soon dropped out so I could find work, as I was still living at home and I wanted to help out my parents where I could. My first job was working in a supermarket for a couple of years. My elder sister, who was working for a company called Aquataz at the time, offered me a job to go and work with her. And that was where my introduction to the aquaculture industry as a young, slightly naive 18-year-old began. That's me with you. My first job was working in a supermarket for a couple of years. Up to that point in my life, I had never heard of a production facility, let alone stepped foot inside a factory ever. I never held a fishing rod. I hated all things water and boats. And to make matters worse and more ironic, I was, and still am to this day, a vegetarian. So just the thought of handling dead, slimy fish on a daily basis was not something that was attractive to me, and certainly wasn't something that I was ever contemplating as an ideal career path. I remember standing there on my very first day wearing what can only be described as the world's most unflattering uniform. Complete with little white caps and face masks, gumboots that come up to my knees, my hands freezing from the cold, the shift that started at 6 AM, so without coffee, I was grumpy as hell and still half asleep. Did I mention the shift started at 6 AM? But the thing I noticed was the horrendous smell. My gosh, that fishy smell. I recall thinking to myself, what the hell have I done? Why would anybody want to do this for themselves or a career? But after some time, I got used to that ridiculous uniform. I didn't notice it as much. I wore the gumboots in, even if they did make me walk like Ronald McDonald. I managed to wear gloves to keep my hands warm. Surprisingly enough, I even got immune to that smell. However, the days turned into weeks and weeks into months, and before I knew it, what was initially going to be a short-term gig turned into years. Approximately 4 of those later, I was given an opportunity to be promoted as a role as a team leader, a role in which I took great pride. When I was appointed as team leader, apart from my direct supervisor, I was the only female in this role. I had several male managers that I reported to. I shared this role with a male companion. I had to lead a team which was composed mainly of men. There were also other departments on site, the slicing area and the others known as the value added, again, which was extremely male dominated. I was thrilled knowing that all my hard work had been recognised and that I was appreciated by what my seniors I was thrilled knowing that all my hard work had been recognised and that I was appreciated by my seniors, regardless of my gender or my age. However, being so young, I did find this male domination in the industry very challenging and at times very frustrating. On those early days where I faced challenges, and believe me, there were many, I would just remind myself that it would be okay. After all, I now wore checkered pants. As on the appointment of a team leader, the uniform changed from those unflattering, ugly white pants to checkered pants, ideally the same design as what a chef would wear today. Those pants identified a supervisor's role, and to me those pants had such an impact. When I put those pants on, they gave me a real sense of worth, an overwhelming sense of achievement, and much improved confidence as I gained experience in the industry. They provided clarity, and finally, I knew what it was that I wanted to do with my life and my career, and that was become a leader. At what level, I wasn't sure. But by the time I knew this, I wanted to succeed, and I was pretty determined to do so. So I had the drive and the ambition, and I knew I just had to build on that. Those checkered pants were such a symbolic notion to me at the time, and I didn't even realise it to the extent. After leaving Aquitas, I held several positions such as managing small teams, working in a call centre, and ventured into customer service positions. After that, I took time out, got married, and raised what is now my beautiful family. Ironically, a position became available back at the original site of Aquitas in September 2013. However, the business had now merged with another seafood company and were trading under the name of the Tassal Group. I applied and was successful in obtaining another role as a team leader. But this time, it wasn't in production purposes, it was a new concept to me, which was commercial cleaning. Once again, deja vu had hit. When on the first day back, I found myself where things had slightly changed but still felt so familiar. We didn't have to wear the same ugly uniform anymore. However, we did still have to wear those gumboots. I had almost forgotten how cold it was inside the factory environment, and this time around I had the additional factor of working with lots of water. I do remember that overwhelming feeling of all the autonomy that had been introduced in my years of absence, as well as extremely nervous of the fact that once again I was leading a team of, you guessed it, 7 men. Over the past 6 years, I've progressed from leading that small group of 7 men as cleaning team leader to becoming a manager for the afternoon shift production and cleaning at one site. Even experiencing a 5 weeks secondment at site management level for our Tassal rendering facility, which is located at Triabana up the east coast of Tassie. To now, which is cleaning manager across 2 of our main production facilities at both Huonville and Margate sites. I oversee and support 2 team leaders, 2 senior processors, and 19 staff members of combined gender and diversity. And these teams are the reason why I'm standing here before you tonight. There's been many memorable moments for me since I started all those years ago in the seafood industry, but one that stands out to me was in recent years when I was appointed by my work colleagues, and to my surprise, winning the Tassal Passion Award back in 2015. Another time was being approached and encouraged to participate in this year's NSILP program. Initially, I wasn't sure of what to expect when applying for the program, but I did have a thought process in mind of what I thought it would be like. However, all that changed the moment I walked in the Hobart conference room. Walking into Hobart, my first instinct was to look for the seat furthest to the back of the room, where no one would notice me, and where I would intently spend the next few days just flying under the radar. To my surprise, all the seating had been formed to represent a U shape, thanks to Jude, in the middle of the room, and I was reluctantly sat down and suddenly realised it was going to be difficult to hide anywhere. After listening to all the introductions from the other participants, I began to feel really uncomfortable, anxious and extremely intimidated, as I was in the company of some pretty amazing people. Many with university degrees and many which held outstanding positions in their field of expertise. To make matters worse, the first day my worst nightmare came true, public speaking. We were instructed to stand up individually in front of the other participants and speak about ourselves, explaining what we were passionate about within the industry and what leadership means to us, all the while being filmed. With minimum preparation, I recall going to the bathroom just moments before, thinking that I was seriously going to vomit. My mind was completely racing. I made a few notes, but looking at them, they all looked like scribble on paper and had a heap of mixed up words that made absolutely no sense to me at all. I kept thinking, shit, if I can't make sense of this, how am I going to explain this to anyone else? As well as trying to manufacture a story that was going to make me sound slightly interesting in comparison. I was literally petrified. I sat there listening intently while all the other participants nominated themselves one by one, stood up and spoke about what can only be described as amazing and incredible stories. All the while hoping and praying that somehow I'd be forgotten. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case, and it was my time to stand up. I managed to compose myself and bumbled through what felt like a lifetime of talking. But in actual fact, it only lasted 2.5 minutes. The next few days were filled with constant heightened levels of anxiety and extreme bouts of emotion. But to my relief, I made it through. The second residency in Sydney had fast approached, and I remember thinking, oh God, here we go again. But this time, things didn't seem quite as daunting to me. Having built relationships with most of the other participants, this seemed to make me feel a bit more at ease. Over the course of that week, we had the similar things presented to us as a group, individually. The spontaneity, the unannounced items on the agenda, the long days, but it was made easier this time around because we had experienced similar challenges in Hobart and I kind of knew what to expect. On the plane flying home to Tassie, that's when I thought to myself, what is it that you're really going to get out of all of these uncomfortable experiences? What is it, Vicki, that you really want from the NSILP program? In the weeks following that, the debate continued in my mind, as well as generating other questions also. Why was I feeling so stressed and emotional with the first residency in Hobart back in March, when really that's out of character for me? What exactly was it that made me feel so intimidated when in the presence of the other participants? And why was it I was petrified about public speaking? Again, in normal circumstances, I like to chat. Some people say I chat probably too much. Even when I'm addressing my team or a larger group, as such, I can normally stand in front and speak when required. I know I'm a good leader, and this is a leadership program. So that's why I'm here, right? I'm here to gain knowledge, to learn techniques and strategies that will allow me to improve the skill set that I've already established over the years. And when complete, I'll be able to go back to my teams at TASAL, put them into practice, and hopefully this will assist me in becoming the best leader that I can be, for both them and for me. It was only as recent as a couple of weeks ago, over a conversation and coffee, that all of a sudden things seemed to make sense. Things became a little bit clearer to me. It isn't about making changes to the seafood industry as such. It goes deeper than that. It's a personal journey. It's recognising those feelings when opportunities are presented to you and having that self-awareness. It's acknowledging and appreciating all those checkered pants moments along the way. Allowing yourself to embrace the feelings that you get from those moments. Because it is those moments that give you the drive and the ambition to continue regardless of your background, regardless of your gender or your age. It's about walking into unfamiliar situations and not allowing yourself to instantly look for that seat at the back of the room. It's about having the mindset and confidence to place yourself front and centre, finding that seat in the front row and knowing that you're meant to sit there. It's about not shying away from your fears and the challenges that are bestowed on you. It's about confronting them head on and overcoming them one at a time. It's having that self-belief that you will achieve success in what you really want, and it will apply in any industry, not just the seafood. And finally, it's about motivating, encouraging, and hopefully inspiring others to feel and do the same. To me, that's leadership, and that's what I'm taking away from this year's program. Thank you so much.